Good afternoon, everyone. It is Allison Turner, founder of Bad Cat Media Group, which is home to my podcast, Dream Plan Start Grow, which is also my business coaching program. Today, I want to jump on and just talk a little about networking. So, anyone that's in business probably has done some networking in their lifetime. Or if you are thinking about starting a business, networking can be a great tool to build your business, build your brand. But also for the average person, say you have been working in the same company for a long time and all of a sudden you want to get a different job. Maybe it's in the same industry, maybe it's in a different industry. Sometimes networking can be a great benefit to brand you and really make those connections to figure out what that next job looks like. So while I'm going to talk specifically about building like business relationships right now, think about networking as a different thing because ultimately we're always building relationships. It could be relationships within our own family. It can be relationships with friends. You're always building some kind of relationships. So I want to just talk a little bit about different types of networking, or at least the ones I've experienced. First, when this company was first formed, we joined the Delray Chamber. So we are in Delray Beach. And so I've been a chamber member probably 9 or 10 years. I'm somewhere in there. And it was really instrumental in getting our company brand known. I literally went to probably 90% of the events that the Delray Chamber had at the time. And that included grand openings. It included networking events, included breakfasts, included other types of meetings. I went to pretty much like 90%. I also joined a leads group in the chamber, and I also became an ambassador probably within the first 6 months. So an ambassador is someone that's a volunteer of the chamber that helps welcome new businesses. They help, mentor new businesses, things like that. So I literally did all that. We get in the first year of business, and it really helped our business get branded. The second thing I want to talk about is NPI, or sometimes you've heard of BNI. BNI is a little bit more nationally known than NPI. Is a little more local and kind of different areas in this area. And they've been instrumental also in getting relationships built. And a lot of my larger clients have come through NPI. And it is a little more of a commitment because it's like a weekly commitment to a meeting. And you are also making a weekly referral, or not a weekly referral commitment, but an annual referral commitment, as well as one-on-ones and things like that. But ultimately, when you're building relationships, you want business. I mean, that's typically from a business owner standpoint. Yeah, I want to meet friends, and I've certainly met friends in the chamber here in Delray. But ultimately, my goal is to build the business and to help others build the business, because I find that, when you build the relationships, not everyone's going to do business with you, and that's okay. And maybe they don't need a website, or they don't need business coaching or whatever I offer, but maybe they need something else. And I'm a good point person that can connect them to what they need. And then what happens is maybe 2 years down the road, they need a new website. And then they think of like, okay, who can I go to? And that's when our name pops up again. So that's also important. So building relationships. And there's a lot of other networking events. Another one that I attend in this area is called Brews and Business, which Paul Likens started a few years ago. So he really started it around his love for craft beer. So he would create these events at a local brewery, and then people could come and attend. And if you drank beer, great. If you didn't, that's okay too, because you're still networking. So, and there's many other just independent events like a Brews and Business. So Brews and Business is still going today. It doesn't always meet at breweries, but we still do. You can create your own event online or in person. So that can be a bigger thing. But if you really want to build a community, create your own. That's another great way to do it. Like all these other things, the chambers, the NPIs, the other networking events, they're created and then you attend them. And so there's probably less effort from that standpoint. But then think about it, if you created your own networking event or networking community, and it could be an online community, depending on what kind of business you are. Like for me, I can work from anywhere. I can work with anyone from anywhere for the most part. So I could really create an online community and build business with them too, if I wanted to. So there's a lot of ways to network. There's a lot of ways to build your business. There's a lot of ways to, create different ways of gaining more revenue. A couple other things are, you can sponsor events. Sponsor events is a great way to kind of get in front of people a little bit more front and center. And you can even do something like a book club. So say you wanted to do a book club and you wanted to host a book club around a business type book or a personal development book, because most entrepreneurs are going to be more interested in personal development. Think about that. You could easily do that. So there's lots of ways to network. There's lots of ways to build relationships and build business. And I wanted to share just a couple of quick things. I'm going to share my screen. First time trying to share my screen on StreamYard. So hopefully this works well. I want to share. Let's see. All right. I'm going to share the Delray Chamber first. So the Delray Chamber, this is their events calendar. So this is for the chamber events. We host something, if you're not from Delray Beach, the Delray Affair, that is actually the Delray Chamber's event. But this shows me everything that's coming up in the Delray Chamber. So if I want to register for something, or if I want to see when the calendar is, I usually go to the beginning of the month, and I go through like this calendar. We're also a member of the Boca Chamber. I go through that calendar. And then I kind of look around at other events maybe I've gotten invited to on Facebook and figure out what my networking schedule is for because you have to be intentional about scheduling networking. You can't just think, oh yeah, do I want to go networking or do I want to go home? So once I've scheduled it, like I'm showing up at it. So be intentional, but you can see lots of different events here that you can go to. YPAD is the under 40 event for the Delray Chamber. Nonprofit Council. So if you're a nonprofit or if you want to strategically align with nonprofits. So there's different ways. So that's one chamber site. And then I want to share just two more things and then I'll let everyone go. So the next one I wanted to share is the Boca Chamber. So Boca Chamber, similar setup. This is a little bit more compact, so you can kind of see the list here. But if you want a specific day and time, I can just click on the calendar here and figure out, okay, what's going on the 20th? Is the 20th a good day? Oh, there's leads groups. So leads groups are specific to, you have to actually belong to those. They're category specific groups, so you need to actually belong. Typically, you pay a second fee. So you join the chamber, pay that fee, and then you pay a second fee to join a leads group. But here's what they have like on that day, for example. So it's really easy to look up. It's really easy to create your schedule for networking. As I said, I like to do it at the beginning of the month and kind of look at the entire month. Now, sometimes stuff goes on there after I've done that, so I have to kind of be aware of that. Usually I get an email about it, but at least I know the main, like the bigger events, because all the bigger events are going to be on here at that point. And then lastly, I just wanted to share one more website with you, and that is, you can go to the share screen thing. Let's see if I can find it. Here we go. I don't know if this is public yet, but this is the NPI site. So again, I've been a member of this, I think 6 years, maybe. There we go. So I don't know. I have my screen minimized a little bit. So 6, 7, maybe 7 years. But so NPI, again, this is kind of the areas it's in right now. I'm in one of the Palm Beach County chapters. So if I go here, I can see Boca Royal East. And then I can see who's in my group. So if I need to reach anyone and I don't have their number in my phone, I have all their numbers in my phone. But if I need to reach anyone, you can see that there. But then I can also network with other people in the other chapters, which is awesome. So if I know I want to go and look at other people in Boca Raton or other people in Delray, I can check out who's in their chapters and network with them as well. So I really, encourage, this group is great as well. So depending on what your level of, this isn't for everyone, NPI or BNI, it's not for everyone. It is a commitment. It's consistent. It's all the time, but it brings business and it brings results. So you really have to just know what you want and what you're willing to put into it, because what you put into it is what you get out of it. So I hope that was helpful for anyone that's maybe weary of networking. But the biggest thing is when you go to an event, if you're shy or you're more introverted, and I was very introverted, I'm still consider myself more of an introvert, but I would go to these events and like say there's 100 people there. If I knew no one, I was like, okay. But that's where like ambassadors come in, because ambassadors can walk up to you and you look kind of like the deer in the headlight look and say, hey, is there someone you'd like to meet? And maybe you don't know a person, but maybe you want a specific industry or a strategic partner or something like that. That's a great opportunity just to get a conversation started. And then once you get in there, it's much easier to get into other conversations. So that was probably one of my biggest challenges, was overcoming that fear of talking to like and then winning a group of people, because really you're usually talking to one or two people at a time, but you get overwhelmed by seeing all the people in that room. So think about how you network, get out there, because building relationships is awesome. And again, you can build them online. You can create online communities and do this. I mean, Clubhouse came out a couple of years ago that created the audio option of like kind of creating that online community. And now Twitter Spaces is out there doing kind of a similar thing. There's other platforms as well. So think of, what are your goals? Where do you want to go? Are you more brick and mortar? I have an office in Delray Beach, so it's good for me to network in Delray. And, just think of how you want to impact other people and obviously your bottom line as well, and how you want to build those relationships. I hope this was helpful. I hope everyone has a great night. Happy Thursday. Talk to you again tomorrow.